Welcome back. Week 11, Chippers NFL Pick'ems podcast. Give a thumbs up, Nicholas. Give a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. All right. Week 10 results. I added a new feature this week. It's pretty cool, huh? You see the totals? I forgot the win-loss. But okay, so I'm last in everything. Including this week in picks as well. Riley's first in against the spread. He's positive, and he's very positive. That's pretty impressive. And then Nicholas is first in win-loss. So, with that being said, let's just get to the picks. So Arizona at Seattle. Arizona had a big play from a big time wide receiver. Caught over 3 Bills defenders in a fantastic game. Seattle, not so much. Did not have a great game against the Rams. So what are you guys thinking? Nicholas, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, I'll take Seattle to win and cover. I think Russell Wilson will finally have a bounce back game after a couple of less than impressive performances.
I mean, yeah, that's to say the least. I agree. I think it's going to be Thursday night. It's his time to shine. It's his time to fuck on Kyler Murray. Just okay, Riley, you get to it then. You get to it. Yeah.
Arizona has already beat them once this season. They're going to do it again, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. This Seattle team doesn't defend anybody. There's not a single team in this league that they can actually defend. Russell Wilson is completely struggling. His receivers aren't doing enough for him, even though they're some of the best in the NFL. He's just not hitting the right targets. He's thrown a lot of picks recently. He's not himself. I've been saying it, and I've said it before. Maybe it was just all those receivers. Maybe he's just not that MVP caliber quarterback that we think he is. So I think Arizona's going to take this. I think Kyler's going to cement himself, or concrete himself, as the best quarterback in this division.
Wait, what? I don't think he's anywhere close. I don't think Kyler Murray's that good. I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as he gets probably, you know what, I'm going to say it, since Julio's dropped off so much in terms of his production value, DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the NFL by far. No doubt about it. So it's no surprise that Kyler Murray starts to blossom once he gets the best receiver in the NFL.
I mean, it's his second season. When do you expect him to blossom? He had rookie season, then he came back and he's doing this right now.
Yeah, because he has DeAndre Hopkins like that.
I mean, you saw Baker Mayfield receive what was arguably the best receiver in Odell Beckham Jr., and look how he's done.
Okay, Odell Beckham and DeAndre Hopkins are not the same. Not in the slightest.
This is completely irrelevant, but Kyler Murray definitely is the best quarterback in the division after he wins this game.
Yeah, I disagree. I still
You're just wrong.
I've been very against Russell Wilson this whole time, but I'm going to say that he's still probably the best quarterback in this division. I think it's dumb to think that Kyler Murray is he's no, I'm not going to say it. All right, so you're picking Arizona to win and cover?
Yep. By a lot.
Okay. All right. Next game, Philadelphia at Cleveland. Funny that you mentioned Baker Mayfield, because now we're jumping to him. What are you guys thinking for this game?
Yeah, I can start this one. I can start. So I was correct on all accounts that Carson Wentz was going to have a bad game last week. I thought there was a lot going against him. I thought they were riding high off of their wins or how they were playing, and they were going to take it real easy on the Giants, and they got smacked. Cleveland, on the other hand, man, they beat up on that great Houston team. I think this is going to be one of the most boring games of the season. I think there's going to be probably 5 turnovers combined between the two teams. It's not going to be pretty. It's in Cleveland, so the weather's probably going to favor Cleveland. I don't want to, but I'm leaning Cleveland. My heart says Cleveland. My head says Cleveland. But man, you can't pick against Carson Wentz when his back's against the wall, man. Everything's saying and going against him right now, so I got to roll with Philadelphia getting a win here.
I'm going against the grain as well, which makes me a little bit scared that we're actually going with the grain. But I'm taking Philadelphia plus 3.5 and the win. I mean, a lot of people are like, I see on Twitter, a lot of people are like sucking off or Wyatt Teller and Nick Chubb. They come back and then all of a sudden their running game is great. They only put up 10 points last week. Like how good are they? Like, yes, they're able to run a little bit more. I feel like Teller is probably a much more beneficial part to this offense. But I mean, just because Nick Chubb comes back, it doesn't mean that they're all of a sudden amazing. I don't know what the deal. I haven't heard anything from Brendan about Philadelphia's injury situation. So I'd figure that there's not a lot of injuries coming from them. I'm just just rolling with Philly. What do you think, Nicholas?
Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland to win and cover here. They're a better team than Philly. Philly's not a good team this year, so I'm taking the Browns to win and cover.
I mean, the Browns really aren't that good either.
The Browns are kind of like a victim of their own success. How are they looking in the playoff picture?
They're the wild card.
Okay.
What's the
I
record
feel like
right
they
now?
can nab that 7 or 6 spot. Maybe. I feel like they haven't played their division opponents a lot so far. They still have a few to go. But speaking of division rivalries, Atlanta at New Orleans. First game with Jameis. Is if you guys remember, the last start that Jameis Winston ever had, he broke a lot of records, and he ended the start with a pick 6 against the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Atlanta's been preparing for New Orleans or for Drew Brees, but now they're going to get Jameis Winston. We don't really know how Jameis is gonna function as the quarterback. I figured that Taysom Hill's going to get a decent bit of run, but I think I'm going to take Atlanta plus 5 and the win. It's just I love Jameis. I love watching him. I'm 100% going to watch this game. It's going to have its own part on the television because I'm very excited to see it. But I'm just scared that Jameis is getting thrown into the fire too soon. What do you think?
Nicholas, you want to start?
Sure. I'll take Saints to win and cover here. They're just a better coached, more talented team overall, and I just don't have faith in the Falcons to win against a team that's rattled off, I believe, 6 straight wins. I don't think they'll be breaking that streak, so I'm taking the Saints to win and cover.
Fair. Now, let me tell you something. This game is going to be very, very telling. Why, you may ask? I think New Orleans will win, but Atlanta will cover. But there's going to be a bigger storyline coming out of this. I think Jameis Winston is going to put multiple good games together. And by the time Drew Brees is coming back, there's going to be some hesitation about starting Brees again because Jameis is going to play that good. We all know Brees has had a struggle throwing it down the field so far, and I think Jameis, he's not gonna take Brees because obviously Brees, he's kind of a legend there. But I think he's gonna push Brees for that starting job. And there's gonna be a lot of talk, a lot of hesitation about bringing him back so quickly because Jameis is gonna play that well.
I mean, like what happened last year whenever Teddy had to come in for a few games, he did have that little hot streak until like
Mm.
he just played like poorly enough to where it warranted Breeze coming back. Um, with Jameis, I feel like you're gonna get like Teddy is a little bit more stable in his production, but with Jameis, it's either up or it's down, up, down, up. Like I don't fully know about that. I'm just really like I think the first
You're
start will
wrong.
be able to tell us everything that we need to know about
He,
what's going to
he's
happen.
he's been under Breeze long enough now at this point. Breeze is a smart quarterback. He's learned a lot from him probably in this short amount of time. I think he's going to be the best Jameis we've seen to date.
All right. Well, next game, segueing into Teddy Bridgewater, Detroit had a pretty nice game. Their first time actually starting DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has an amazing game for them. Carolina, I did have the little theory that I guess earlier in the season that they'd be better off, or not better off, but like losing Christian McCaffrey wouldn't really hurt them. But after seeing them for such a sustained or for such a long time, I think it's now safe to say that Christian McCaffrey is a difference maker in Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, hot take right there. I know, but I just don't. They're able to do a little bit without him for the first few games because they didn't know how their offense would look. I'm taking Detroit plus 1.5 here in the win. Carolina, they're Joe Brady. He needs Christian McCaffrey back because that really opens up. You can only do with Mike Davis for so long. Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina to win and cover here. I just don't see Detroit being able to pull this one out. I think Carolina's the better coach team here. So I'm going to take Carolina to win and cover.
Nope. Nope. Detroit is the better coach team to date. These past few weeks, we've seen Detroit really make a great few strides. Ever since Stafford came back from COVID, they've been playing great. So I think I got Detroit here winning as well.
All right. Next game, much more. I think it's more exciting. I don't know. Deshaun Watson versus Cam Newton. New England. They had a really big game against Baltimore. Now, if it wasn't monsooning, I don't know if that game would be any different. It could have been because I think it would have been. So I'm taking Houston +2. I know they're really bad against the spread this season, and this feels like a spread that you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely taking New England -2 here. No doubt. I think this is a bait spread by Vegas here. Yes, Houston is coming off of an awful week, and New England's coming off of a great week. I think that Houston's going to be able to pull one out somehow. I'm not sure how, but I feel like they're going to. They have to win at some point. I don't know. Right?
No. I think Cam, while he's not a great quarterback, he's not a perfect quarterback. Past 2 weeks, he's there's been he's been kind of on the hot seat right now, and for him to continue working hard to improve his offseason value because he's only on a 1-year deal, I think he's definitely going to try and make sure this is going to be a statement game for himself. So I think he's going to have probably one of his better games of the season. I don't think Houston is something you look at and you really fear at all. They're pretty horrible. There's not a whole lot of future there. Their quarterback had maybe one of the worst games of his young career. I think Cam's just he's got basically the playoffs on the line at this point. He's trying to come back and make the playoffs. I think the past 2 weeks, ever since that fourth quarter, when a certain quarterback threw a horrible interception. I think Joe Flacco, was it? Joe Flacco threw a horrible interception.
Hey, we'll talk about him later.
Cam's been on fire, and so I'm just going to keep rolling with him here. I don't think he's going to have a great game, I think he'll have a solid to good game and just enough to beat Houston.
I'm taking the Pats to win and cover here. I expect Damian Harris and Rex Burkhead to have solid performances. Houston defense just isn't good. Offense hasn't looked good. I'm taking Patriots to win and cover here.
Let's see. Wait, who did Houston play last week?
The Browns.
Oh yeah, Cleveland. We were just talking about them. Yeah, I don't know. I can see it. Next game, Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Pittsburgh, really solid performance against Cincinnati. Riley and I doubted them yet again. And Pittsburgh does really well. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, they put up 36 points against a bad team, and they're a bad defense at least. Jacksonville, I feel like we kind of read them right last weekend, saying that they were going to at least compete with Green Bay, which they did.
A few of us did.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jake Luton looks pretty solid.
He did.
Could be the 2021 quarterback, but like, I don't know. Just I'm taking Pittsburgh -10 here, just because they're rolling as a team. I think if once like with Jacksonville, they had a really solid week last week against Green Bay, but now this is going to be their letdown game. This is the game that everybody expects them to lose, and they actually lose by a decent margin. So, Riley, what do you think? Still think Pittsburgh are frauds?
Well, let's get to
because they're undefeated.
Last week, I told my haters, like, okay, let's preface. On this show, this podcast, every week I tell you on here live to your faces the truth that I see, and I just want a little bit of credit. Last week I told you, the whole Chippers Podcast Network fan base, that the Jags would have a lead in that fourth quarter. And you know what they did? They had a lead in that fourth quarter. So I'm going to tell you the truth here again. Pittsburgh are still frauds, but they'll win and cover this game. I think what's going to happen here is we're going to see Big Ben take a little revenge out on this Jacksonville team after they eliminated them in that playoffs a few years ago. I think this is going to be a vendetta game for him. Pittsburgh, again, not a very good team. Jacksonville, sadly, just a horrible team. So I'm going to roll with Pittsburgh to win and cover, but they're still frauds.
I'm taking Pittsburgh to win and cover here. They're just the more talented and well-coached team. Jacksonville sucks, so Pittsburgh to win and cover.
They're such a low-key undefeated team. I feel like nobody's really like making note of it, and they'll advance to probably 10-0 after this weekend if the Jet and that's very impressive. How seriously are you guys taking them as Super Bowl contenders? Like, are they in your top three?
Like in the league?
No. Like, do you think that they can win the Super Bowl? Like, if you're going to bet on a team, are they in your top three?
No.
Not even close, probably.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Who's their best win?
I mean, Tennessee, I guess, in that weird game.
Okay, so let me read you off
Tennessee,
the wins.
where they almost lost, I guess.
Let's read off these wins. Giants, Denver, Houston. They had a bye week because of Tennessee. Philadelphia, Cleveland, Tennessee, Baltimore, Dallas, the Bengals.
Oh my God. That's awful.
Yeah, they have the easiest schedule in the league.
Oh, when do they play a good team?
They don't. Even Baltimore's not that good. Like we thought they're going to be good coming into the season, but they're horrible.
Wait, what's their future schedule looking like? Could they go 16-0?
They have Jacksonville, Baltimore, Washington, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Cleveland.
Okay. All right. So Buffalo and Indianapolis are they're the only two playoff teams that they're going to face outside of
Yeah.
Baltimore, which that's just the division.
I'm telling you, they're a pretender. They're not in the top 3 of the teams I would pick to win the Super Bowl. Maybe not even top 5.
Wow, that's pretty enlightening. I guess that's why they became such a low key undefeated team. Switching gears, Cincinnati. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have put they continue sucking. But I didn't watch any of the Washington game last week, but Alex Smith I saw he threw 55 times in one game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened there. How did they have him throw 55 times?
I didn't watch the whole game, but I can tell you what happened. So Detroit had a huge lead in that some of that fourth quarter, and essentially they were just throwing the ball all over the place to try and catch up, and they did, but they ultimately blew it. That's why he just threw it so many times. So that score actually is a lot closer than it should have been. I'm going to take Cincinnati easily to win here. I'm going to guarantee it by 2. Count them, 2 touchdown score win for Cincinnati. That even might be my guarantee of the week right here. I'm not confirming it. I'm thinking that's going to be my guarantee, though, for right now. Cincinnati by 2 touchdowns.
I mean, look, last week, we're going with the assumption that Big Ben was not going to play.
Right.
And then he played. So, I'd be willing, because Cleveland last week, that game pushed, winning by 3. So, it wasn't counted into our stats. I mean, I don't know. So
no, I see.
I'm taking Cincinnati plus 1.5 to win as well.
Can I do something meta?
Yeah.
76ers trade Horford, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick to Thunder for Danny Green. Just a little meta.
Nice.
We can discuss that more afterwards, but just a little meta.
Hey, we'll discuss this possibly on the Chippers NBA draft show.
Uh-oh. Hint, hint. A little promo.
Yeah, a little promo. Nicholas, what are you thinking?
I'm taking Cincy to win and cover here. I think Cincy has a QB, Washington doesn't, so I'm going to take Bengals to win and cover.
I mean, Alex Smith did throw for 350 plus yards last week. I think he's fully back. And that Cincinnati offensive, I'm actually talking myself into the Washington football team. But, I mean, Cincinnati doesn't have an offensive line. The football team has a solid defensive line, I feel like, maybe, possibly. Could they ruin Joe Burrow's day? Just something to think about.
Well, we're gonna see a Chase Young Burrow matchup. It's gonna be definitely interesting.
Oh yeah, it's the one
Former
versus
college
2. Yeah.
players.
Huh. Yeah. All right. Tennessee at Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 6.5. I took Tennessee plus 6.5 and to lose. Just because it's a very large spread. Especially I guess both teams did suck last week. But still.
Wait, what did you pick? You picked which side?
I'm taking Tennessee plus 6.5, but to lose. Baltimore to win. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna roll the same way. I think past couple weeks, this Baltimore team's not looking that great. But I think at this point, Lamar Jackson's back is against the wall. I think he's going to perform probably better than he has in the past 5-6 weeks, and I think he's going to just squeak out a win. I think we might be understating the loss of none other than Mr. Thomas on this team. I think there's a loss of leadership on that defensive end, and he might be a part of that reason. So I'm going to be taking that's a little side note, but I'm still taking Baltimore to win, but Tennessee to cover.
Well, also Baltimore doesn't have Ronnie Stanley, which I think is playing a massive factor into why they're not doing as hot. And they have like a ton of injuries right now. So, Nicholas, what are you thinking?
Taking the Titans to win and cover here. I think that Derrick Henry's playing very well. I think he'll get his against the Ravens, and I think Lamar will continue to struggle. So I'm gonna take Titans to win and cover.
I was a little bit disappointed last week by Derrick Henry's performance, but that I guess that was just like game scenario. All right. This spread does not make any difference. It has to be a snow game. If anybody wants to check the Denver weather for this weekend,
I'll check real quick.
because Miami being favored by only 3.5 just it doesn't make any sense. But I'm still going to take Miami -3.5.
Sunday it's sunny apparently. So in Denver it's 52, high 52, low 32.
This is the right spread, correct?
Looks like it. If you pulled it, I didn't look at the spreads this week, but I think we all can agree Miami's going to win this game.
Yeah, especially because Drew Lock is injured, which that might actually help them.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
They're trotting out still Driscoll or something like.
Yeah. So let me just talk about this game for a minute, just so we don't just skip over it. I think we're all mostly in agreement. Drew Lock is by the week looking more and more like a bust. He had a good rookie season, but at this point he's looking more and more like a bust. But I think Elway is going to be too stubborn in his ways to give up on him. So definitely going to roll him out for at least one more season. The rest of the season, at least one more season. They're not even going to look at quarterbacks this draft, which they should because it's a great quarterback draft. But Tua, man, can we talk about this Tua kid? Outdueled, outwitted, and outmaneuvered Herbert in every single way possible. Tua, I mean, he's 3-0 right now. I know he has a great defense, but this Miami team could be making the playoffs, and it's looking like they are, honestly. They beat up some pretty good teams. So they're probably my sleeper pick. I'd probably take them to win the Super Bowl over the Steelers at this point.
Okay, I don't know if I would go that far. They still need to build up their fucking team, Riley. And
they're that good.
If you take a look at the playoff picture, there's a log jam. Like there's a ton of 6-3 teams in the AFC right now. I think you're getting a little bit too far ahead of yourself, buddy.
They also have another like high first round pick. I don't know which team they got it from. It's going to be in the top 5 to 8 range. They got it from. They traded a left tackle to a team for their first round pick. I forget who it is.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
Do any of you guys know?
Nicholas, have any?
I know it was the same team that traded that wide receiver, the Cardinals.
That top 3 wide receiver.
I think you called him top 1 this podcast.
Oh yeah, it was top 1. Julio, no, that was the Falcons. I can't remember. Nicholas, can you help?
No, but I'll give my pick for this game. I'm going to take the Dolphins to win and cover. Better QB, better defense, better coach, just all around better football team. So I'm going to take Miami to win and cover.
Just adding on to why John Elway will keep Drew Lock this season, you can just chalk it up to, well, you had coronavirus. He's a developing quarterback. We know he's a project, and he got injured a ton this season. There's so many excuses that you can use with Drew Lock, but it's very evident that he's not the future.
He also threw out that Sutton was hurt all year.
Yeah. You can use a lot of stuff, but like he's just. It's been clear since he was at Missouri. He wasn't very good at Missouri, and he's making the same mistakes that he did there that he's doing now in the NFL. All right, let's get it. Joe Flacco. I'm taking Jets +8.5, but to lose. I mean, I know the Jets are awful against the spread, but Joe Flacco is only, I think, 1-2 against the spread. Technically, if you want to include, yeah. They're only 1-2 against the spread with Joe Flacco behind the helm, or maybe 1-1. I don't know. But yeah, I think Joe Flacco is going to do really well this game. And Justin Herbert is not going to do well because he got a haircut and he looks dumb. Like,
Really?
see him? It looks bad. It shows off his acne even more. And the like he looks like he went from a cool 17-year-old to a dumb looking 14-year-old. I'm just awful decision by him. What do you guys think?
Nicholas, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets to win and cover here. I'm going
Whoa.
to guarantee them to.
Whoa.
Just because these Chargers always find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and I could definitely see them awarding the Jets their first win of the season. They did it back in, I want to say 2015 or 2016 when the Browns would have gone 0-16, but they gave them their only win of the season. So I'm going to take the Jets to win and cover here.
Riley?
Cool. I was honestly thinking about picking the Jets to win and to cover this game as well, but it just wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't be right. I guess I'll take the Chargers to win here somehow, some way. They're a solid football team. They really, really are. I don't know how they keep doing it. They're like the Falcons West essentially. From all all their losses so far this season. I'll tell you how many points they lost by in all their games so far. 3, 5, 7, 3, 1, 5, 8. All one score games they've lost. So I think they are a solid team. Herbert's been pretty good. Not the best rookie so far this year, but pretty good. So I guess I'll roll with him. I think the Jets, when you have a man named Flacco who's your starting quarterback, your offense is essentially going to be pretty flaccid. So I'm taking the Chargers to win and cover.
And cover?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is like one of the Jets' best opportunities to win, because if not, it gets really grim because you start playing a ton of playoff teams. So let me read out their schedule.
I was just looking at it. It's not looking great.
Yeah. So you have the Chargers this week, obviously. Dolphins next week. Raiders after that. But it's at home, at the Seahawks, at Los Angeles, and then coming back home against the Browns, and then at the Patriots. They'll
win a game this season. They will. I'll bet you $5 they will.
Okay. Wait, no. I don't want to do that. No. I don't want to do that because I'm just saying it's going to be extremely tough. But that's a lot of games. Talk to me in like the last 3 games, and if they haven't won a game, we'll continue to bet. But no. All right. This is also a weird spread because I think it opened at Green Bay. Green Bay was favored by 2, I think, and then it switched to Indianapolis -1.5. So for this, I'm taking Green Bay +1.5 aim to win. I don't know why it was a weird Thursday night game where the Colts just got off to a much better start. Green Bay's just like they're the better football team. I'm not sure what this spread is getting at, but it's really dumb. What do you guys think?
I have a quick question real quick. So self-admittedly, I wasn't able to watch Thursday Night Football last week because I was driving. How do both of these teams look like? What was the Tennessee versus Indianapolis game look like?
Nicholas, do you have did you watch?
I guess I paid a little more attention in the second half. Just Tennessee couldn't get anything going on offense, and Colts defense really stepped up.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna roll with Green Bay here. I really want to take Indianapolis, but when it comes down to it, the most important position in football is the quarterback, and there's such a disparity in quarterback in this game that you just got to roll with the better one.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay to win and cover here. I could see Indy keeping it close with their defense, but I don't think they have the offensive capabilities to hang with them. So Green Bay to win and cover.
Is
Yeah.
Indianapolis have the sneakiest defense in the NFL? I think they might. I think they're a top 5 defense right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the metrics. I
As
think
long as
so.
Darius Leonard is healthy, yes. But I don't know. This game is also going to be really interesting because it's it's the best fourth quarter quarterback versus the worst fourth quarter quarterback. With Aaron Rodgers versus Phil Rivers. So, I mean, if it's a tight game, I'm gonna take Green Bay like every single time. Just no doubt about it. Next game, I said at the bottom just to like remind myself, this does feel like a Thanksgiving game, kind of. Just like I feel like these two teams are always playing on Thanksgiving, but you got Dallas coming off a bye against Minnesota. It used to be an old trope that Kirk Cousins would always lose primetime games, but now he's just winning primetime games this season. So
He
it's
won
not
his
as
first
easy.
Monday Night Football game in his career, right?
It was? Oh, I was not aware, but wow. Yeah, I guess so. So, I mean, I'm taking Minnesota -7 here because the Cowboys are still just a mess. And who are they trotting out this week? Garrett Gilbert? Is that who their quarterback is?
Does it really matter who their quarterback is? It's not like their defense is going to do anything.
Yeah. Nicholas, what do you think?
Taking Vikings to win and cover here, just because I don't trust the Cowboys.
You don't trust the Cowboys? Sadly, I'm probably going to have to go on the same board. I know one of our loyalist viewers and listeners, Nico Trumbauer. Ever since he told me in person, he said he came up to me, gave me a big shake, a big hug. He said he was a great fan of the show. So thank you, Nico, for watching. But he told me to my face, he said, Kirk Cousins, whenever Kirby says Kirk Cousins is going to have a great game, I laugh because Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback.
I didn't
I
say
hate
he was
Kirk
going to have a
Cousins.
great. Okay. I have said it before.
You've said that in some
I
games.
said
You
he's
said
due
this is definitely a Kirk Cousins game right here.
This is a Kirk Cousins. No, this is not a Kirk Cousins game. No.
Kirk Cousins might have taken a turn for his career now. Now that he's gotten the proverbial monkey off of his back about not being able to play in the limelight in the big games, he might, there might be some weight being shed on his shoulders. So I want to take Minnesota to win here and Kirk to have a pretty big game.
This is essentially a primetime game because it's America's game of the week, most likely.
More than likely.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be, but it is.
Thank you, Dallas.
Yeah, whatever. Kansas City -7.5 at Las Vegas. Big road dog. Against like a solid team. I'm surprised by this, but hold on. You guys make your picks. Hold on, I'm gonna look up a stat.
Just to preface, before we make our picks, it was announced while we were recording that the Las Vegas Raiders have put 10 Raiders on the COVID list, or they just added 7, and then it adds up to 10 total, all from their defense. So it doesn't bode well. I don't know if this line's going to shift at all, but as of right now, I'm going to be taking Kansas City to win and cover because I'm not sure which players are out. I know it's all on defense, so they're already going to be short-staffed enough as it is. I'm pretty sure Las Vegas won this matchup earlier in the season, though, in a shootout. So I'm still going to roll with Kansas City.
That was a really good game.
It was a good game. I'm going to roll with Kansas City here just on the fact that I'm not sure which player is going to be out for defensively for Las Vegas.
Nicholas, where are you thinking?
I'll take KC to win and cover because I'm not betting against Mahomes.
Okay. Yeah. So I just remembered this stat. In his 22 years as an NFL head coach, Andy Reid has an 18-3 regular season record after the bye week. So, I mean, if this game doesn't get canceled, I'm taking Kansas City minus 7.5, and I had that before I knew about the Raiders news. But yeah, at least we will get a win. It might be a touchdown game, but still like Andy Reid. But also, this is like kind of a crucial game for Las Vegas because, like I said, they're 6-3 right now, and there's a massive pileup in the in the AFC for those wild card spots. Like there's a ton of 6-3 teams. So just watch out for that. All right, Monday night game, Los Angeles at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, favored by 4, and I'm taking Tampa Bay here because you want to know why? Just take a guess.
Tom Brady.
No.
Arians.
No.
Jet lag.
It's a Monday night game. It is the Rams. They're going to be so thrown off by the fact that like it's 5:00 their own time. And it shouldn't be dark at that time. It shouldn't be pitch black. Now it's going to be pitch black at 8:00. Oh my gosh. It's going to throw off their circadian rhythm so much. Tampa Bay -4, easy.
Okay. I'm going to roll with Tampa Bay winning, but Los Angeles covering, not due to the fact of jet lag, even though that will be a factor in this game. I think, honestly, Tampa Bay is probably just a better team. They have just way too many weapons on the outside, and Jalen Ramsey can't cover them all. I'm not sure. Donald didn't do anything last week because I have him in my dynasty league, and he literally had no tackles, no sacks, no nothing. So I don't know if he's okay or what's going on, but he should have a bounce back game this week because the interior of that Tampa Bay line, from what I remember, it's not that great. But ultimately, they're just not going to be able to score enough points. I think this Tampa Bay defense, they let up 46 points, they didn't let up 46 points, but they did let up a lot of points recently.
38.
38, that's what it was. But they brought it back down. So I'm just going to roll with Tampa Bay here. Don't think Jared Goff's that great either. So not a whole lot to it.
Jared Goff.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win and cover here. I could see Jared Goff putting up a stinker. So I think that defense could give him fits. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win and cover.
Dang. None of you are going to go against my circadian rhythm theory. That's horrible. Really sad.
It's a horrible trope.
Nope, it's a good trope. And
the only person in this podcast that doesn't fall in a trope is myself.
You do the Cincinnati trope every single week. You're just like, oh well, nope. I just really like Cincinnati.
They're a better team than their record suggests. All
okay,
right.
Well,
on to guarantees.
Yeah, I'm guaranteeing Miami this week. It's a really easy spread. What are you thinking?
Wait, who did Nicholas took the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna guarantee the Bengals. I don't think I have this season so far, as far back as I'm remembering. I don't think I have. I think they're gonna like I said, I think they're gonna beat the Washington football team by 14 points.
Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
He picked the Jets.
Oh, you did?
Remember, he said he's going to guarantee the Jets to beat the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. You're actually going a little ballsy on your projections this week. If you get that right, like, props to you.
If you get that right, like a firm handshake.
Well, if that's the case, we have nothing left. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this out before tonight at 8:00. So we might be going live
A live stream for the NBA draft.
Yep. Live
I'd be
streaming
down.
for the NBA draft. Nicholas might join us. I know
Probably
Riley.
not. Nicholas?
We'll see. I wouldn't have much to add. I might just keep up with it on Twitter.
Well, we might just be like talking to you through it. Might have Aaron on. You know, we had that one
Mhm.
episode about cheese that we
Right. Right.
that we never followed up with, unfortunately. I don't know, just something to like talk through, but really casual, really fun. But anyways, that's all I have. You guys got anything?
Make sure you hit that like button.
Oh,
Make sure you
yeah.
subscribe.
Ring that bell.
Ring that
Ring
bell
it.
button.
So you get notified
Notification.
whenever we're going live tonight.
Leave a comment below. Tell us what you would like to see in the comments.
Yeah.
Tell us what you would like to see. Ring that bell button, like we said. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. Stay tuned for our 50 subscriber special. We might be giving away something that starts with a P or an X. We're not 100% sure yet, so we're not liable for that, but we might be. So just stay paying attention.
Yep. Who knows? It could be you. It could be you.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Give us those pearly whites, Nicholas. Damn.